Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jason from Hard Money Bankers with another great book review. Today, we're going to go over Dotcom Secrets, one of Russell Brunson's books. As you know, big fan of Russell Brunson, was in his mastermind group with my business partner, Chris Haddon, for a while, and pretty much anything he talks about, anything that he writes, I like to read. So I got a lot of good information from this. Now, most of the stuff in this book is general business, but I'm going to break this down for real estate investors, real estate agents, anybody who is a real estate professional. The majority of this book was marketing related, so it's marketing and general business. But like I said, I want to break it down for agents, investors, professionals. If you're interested in checking out this book, I think he offers it on his website still for free, and then you just have to pay for shipping. Just go to hardmoneybankers.com/.com, hardmoneybankers.com/.com, Dotcom. If you like it. I certainly think you should read the book, but I'm going to give you some interesting tidbits that I've learned along the way. So my take of this. So a few things. We talk about acquiring clients, and there's two typical ways you can acquire a client. You can either work really, really hard and put a lot of time into networking and getting the clients, or you can pay money to acquire a client. Now, obviously, you probably want to do a mixture of both. You want to spend marketing dollars, but then you also want to meet clients and create and establish good relationships with them. Now, the one key thing that you really got to understand is the person or the company that can spend the most amount of time and the most amount of money to acquire a client is typically going to win, right? So think about it like this. If I have a $5,000 budget to acquire a client, so every client to me is worth $5,000, I can go gangbusters and I can direct mail them. I can go around to every, and let's say I have a lot of time too, I can go to networking groups. I can hit them online, offline. I have a better shot of acquiring a client than somebody who doesn't have any marketing dollars to acquire a client, or doesn't have much time to acquire a client. So it's something to think about. Now, the good part about all of us being in the real estate business, a client to us is worth a lot of money, right? Think about it. If you're a real estate agent and you sell a house that's $100,000 or $200,000, you make a good commission. If you buy a property and you wholesale it or you flip it, you make a good amount of money. So the important part to understand is that we're in a business that we have money, we make good money on a client. So let's, if you need to acquire and you need to do more deals, we have good budgets to continue to do so. Now, the one key thing to think about related to spending money on acquiring clients is also spending money on retaining clients. Now, most of these same businesses, we do a lot of repeat, in our lending business, we do a lot of repeat borrowers. If you're a real estate agent, you sell a lot of houses, maybe to the same person, but you also have referrals from that. So one client could be worth a few $1,000s, but, and I'm gonna go through the value ladder in the future, in a second on this, that I learned, but if you go through the whole the customer life cycle of one person that you do business with, they could be worth, 100 grand, right? You sell them a few houses, then you sell one of their family members a house, and then you get a referral. So, think through that when you're setting up some of your marketing things. But that was one key takeaway that I got related to the book of, the more money you can spend on acquiring a client, the person who has more money to spend or agrees to put up the most money to acquire a client is always going to win. You can market to somebody once, send them one mailing piece. I'll send them 100 mailing pieces, let's say, because I have the budget to potentially do that. There's a better shot that I'm going to acquire that client. So something to think about. Okay, so something pretty interesting that Russell always talks about is telling your story. And the way that he describes it, and if you're just tuning in, we're talking about this book, Dotcom Secrets, Russell Brunson. I finished it recently, and obviously I think you should buy it, but you should, I've got some good insight of stuff I've learned from it, and just go to hardmoneybankers.com/.com, Dotcom, if you're interested in it. Tell your story, create what's called an attractive character. So you're the attractive character. Think about it like this. Think about if you were to create a cartoon character about yourself. So hi, I'm Jason. I like to play golf and coach soccer and do real estate deals and lend money and do marketing and do videos, whatever the case is. You create yourself a character, and that's who you are. That's your brand, and people want to do business with you because they are attracted to you. They're attracted to your attractive character, right? And I think a lot of people, they feel like they just want to please everyone, and they feel like they maybe aren't even being true to yourself. You know, and it's okay to, you know, part of the attractive character is to share maybe even your flaws with your clients. You know, you're a real person. We're not just like this robot sales guy that, hey, I'm selling. Oh yeah, I can help you. I can help you. I can help you. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. It doesn't work like that. Like, we're real people, and your customers will see right through that if you're just selling all the time. So it's okay to share your flaws and share your opinions. I mean, listen, I'm not, you know, really big into the political stuff, but let's say, you know, you're gung-ho over here, and you voice that opinion. That's okay. The people on this side, if you're over here, probably aren't going to do business with you, but the people over here that do business with you are probably going to like you that much more because you're true to yourself, and you know, they can relate to you that way. So that's this whole part of the attractive character, is kind of voicing your opinion, sharing your flaws, being yourself. Hey, maybe I want to do business with this hard money lender, Jason, because he likes soccer, and this person over here doesn't. Or, you know, you got to get creative on that. But, you know, grab a whiteboard, grab a piece of paper, you know, in the middle, draw a picture of yourself, either whatever, stick figure of yourself, it doesn't matter. And think about yourself as a cartoon character. Like, how do you represent yourself? Think about 10 different qualities that you have, and then you can stem out to figure out who your target audience or your target clients are related to that. So that was one thing that kind of hit home of, you know, be yourself. And I feel like internally inside our company, we've always been ourselves. I mean, I wear this every day because this is what I wear to work, and that's just what it is. And you know, if someone comes in and they don't want to do business with us and work with us, invest, lend money from us, whatever the case is, because we don't wear a suit, that's their decision. So I think a lot of people are, hey, I'm in the banking industry, I need to dress like this, or I'm a real estate agent, I need to dress like this, I'm a real estate investor, I need to dress like this. Whatever the case is, the point of this, and I truly believe this, the point of what was discussed on that is create an attractive character, be yourself, and it goes a long way. People want to do business with you. Don't be ashamed of who that is. So a little bit more on kind of telling stories. We talked about telling stories, and another telling your story, obviously, in your marketing, and all of this should be incorporated in your marketing, right? You know, you don't have to have, you know, an old school picture of what maybe a typical realtor, or real estate agent, real estate professional has. Just be yourself. You know, if you want to put a picture of yourself on a skateboard, there's no rules. Or with your animals, do it. There's no rules. So another thing that was really interesting related to talking to clients, selling clients, if you do any speaking or if you do any content, is everything, and maybe, you know, even selling in an email, when you email people, everything should always be related to stories. It's the easiest way, number one, to communicate with people, and number two, it's the best way that they can relate to stuff as well. So you always say, you know, let's say you're meeting with somebody for the first time, and it's like, you know, you're always looking for common things to talk about. You know, maybe some breaker things. You know, relate things to a story. Be like, I'm glad you came to this house or whatever. You know, you remind me of this couple that just moved in from out of state, and they bought this house over here, and they loved it. They had a dog. They ended up painting this blue. Whatever the case is, like, relate things to stories, relate things to case studies. You know, if you're a real estate investor and you're buying a property from a distressed seller, hey, we helped a client exactly like you. It took us this amount of time to do. We moved him out of the house and we moved him over here. They got on their way. You know, relate things to storytelling. And if you've noticed stuff that we've done inside ever since we finished this book, if you look at a lot of the emails that Hard Money Bankers have done recently, they're stories. It's the exact same content, like it's the same, we're trying to relay the same information to our audience, but we're doing it based on storytelling and not just, hey, check out check out this client who flipped this property that did this, come up to our meetup group. It's, hey, when we got started, you try to relate to your audience, you try to relate to your customer or your client. So it goes a long way. Cool. So again, I'm doing a breakdown. Dotcom Secrets, Russell Brunson. Chris and I were in his mastermind group. We spent quite a bit of money in his mastermind group to be involved with some of the stuff they do, and pretty much everything that he puts out is pretty much right on. A lot of his stuff is general business or tailored to general business, but it's heavy on marketing, and we're very focused on marketing. So if you're interested in this book, I think he does a free trial still. When I bought it, it was a free trial, and I just paid shipping of $8 or $10 or something like that. hardmoneybankers.com/.com. hardmoneybankers.com/DOTCOM. Easier to go to that link. Okay. Okay. So I learned. So that was a few things I got out of. I got out of that. Make sure, we kind of talked about this earlier, is that you're just in providing, and we talk about the value ladder and we talk about a funnel. And I've talked a lot about funnels on marketing videos, and I'll give you some links on some of those if you're interested in that. But he talks about the value ladder, and think about the value ladder. You start at the bottom of the ladder, and as you climb up the ladder, you're offering more value to your clients, to be associated with you, to do business with you, to give you referrals, to work with you. And everything is just providing an insane amount of value to your current clients and your existing clients. And in the business of real estate that we're all in, every client to us is worth so much money. There's so much money because it's a high ticket item. You can make a few $1,000s on a transaction, and then they do more business with you. They refer you your friends. I've always had in my head or in my mind, and I don't know this exact stat obviously, that every sale that we do, every loan that we do, every property that we purchase is equivalent, whatever the amount of money that is made on a transaction is equivalent to 5 times that. We're gonna do multiple transactions. They're gonna refer us to our friends. That's just what it is. If you're a real estate agent and you have a lead and you're talking to, or you have a potential customer, that's like talking to 5 different people, because eventually they do a deal with you, they refer you to this person, they refer you to this person, they refer you to this person. And this is obviously you're taking care of them and you're providing them the right value. So think about the value ladder, grow on your whiteboard, on your piece of paper, draw a picture of a ladder. And at the bottom be like, okay, what's something of value that I can give to all my potential leads? People that I want to reach out to. So I do a farm, I do some farm, a farm mailer. I do a direct mail piece. I do a bandit sign. I meet someone at a networking group. I do all my front end people that are coming into my mix. I get a business card from something. What's something of value that I can give everybody? Could it be a free report on how foreclosures work? Let's say you're real estate investors. Could it be a free CMA on a property? Could it be whatever. Company swag? Could it be a lunch and learn, buy somebody coffee? I mean, you use your imagination of whatever you want. There's something in your business of value that doesn't cost you any money for the most part that you can offer them. Maybe it's a strategy session with you. So the goal is you give somebody something of value, and hopefully they're overly impressed of, wow, I just met this person. I just gave this person my email address. I just met them in person. I haven't given them any money, and they gave me equivalent to whatever X. They gave me equivalent to what someone over here charged me to do, right? And you're doing this because you're providing them value, and they want to do business with you. And then all of a sudden, you take it to the next level. So you already gave somebody, I don't know, a free CMA, and the next step is, why don't you do this? Why don't you come into my office? And I will help you, I'll give you whatever. We usually do first-time homebuyer seminars. I'll give you the first-time homebuyer packet, and I'll go over with you one-on-one, so you don't have to go to this seminar and sit in there. I'll just do it with you one-on-one. And again, I'm just throwing stuff out there, kind of being creative on some of these things. But I'll tell you that some of the stuff that we do on the lending end is, we'll do over the phone strategy sessions with some of our borrowers, and we'll bring them to the office. Then we'll buy them lunch. We'll try to give them a list of service providers. We have some software tools that we'll give them. We have marketing flyers, that, absentee owner and probate flyers that we've created that we use personally for our marketing campaigns. Like, we'll provide that stuff, whatever they need. They need access to, our deal tracker software we have. We create over time tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff that, yes, it costs us money, but we give it to our clients, potential clients. We give it to them. It's value. We're providing it to them over and over and over and over and over. I want to do loans. You want to sell houses. You want to buy houses. You want to do appraisals for somebody. Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter what you're in. You don't have to be in real estate. These are all things that we provide. That you got to provide through this value ladder. So think about that. Think about the value ladder. And I know a lot of this because this book, a lot of this stuff in this book is just marketing after marketing after marketing after marketing after marketing. Tons and tons of different ways to do it, online, offline. But when you market, let's say you're marketing to hundreds, thousands, 1 million people over here, it's only so good if when they all, the ones that finally funnel down into here, if you are collecting their information, getting them to call you, creating a relationship with them. Anyone can send out emails, direct mail, all of that stuff. Anyone can do that stuff over and over, just spend money and get all that stuff in the door. Anyone can go spend time and meet everyone at a meetup group. Anyone can go to a B&I group. Anyone can do all of these things over here. And if you go to some of these things over here, if you're like, all real estate agents are marketing the same people sometimes. All real estate, everyone's doing all of this stuff over here. The important part of what all this is after they call you, email you, fill out a web form, meet you face to face, what are you doing on the back end to monetize this? What are you doing on the back end to make them a client, to make them a repeat client, to get a referral from them, do some sort of partnership with them? There's so many different ways, and so many people are leaving money on the table. And a lot of the stuff, that Russell talks about in this book related to marketing funnels is we do all this really, 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 really heavy lifting on the front end just to get somebody in the door, and then it's over. Or then we sell them a house and then it's over. Like, the reason why we don't want to do typical loans for somebody, I'm not saying we won't do a loan for somebody who is only like a one-time borrower, but like I just want to get someone I just want to have the opportunity to get someone in the door, because I know when we get them in the door, we will do as many loans as possible for them. We'll do as many loans as their friends and their referrals as possible. It's same with you as a real estate agent. It's same with you in any business that you need. A lot of us we're doing everything up here, and this goes back to the funnel, this goes back to the value ladder, this goes back to a lot of this stuff. We're all spending so much time on the front end stuff, and it's hard, that front end stuff. It's competitive out there to do that, especially right now. There's a lot of real estate agents. It's hard to find good real estate transactions out there, good flip properties to buy. We all do the upfront stuff, and we forget about the repeat business. We forget about what happens, how to nurture some of our clients after they're in it. Chances are, if you sell a house for somebody and they move out of state, chances are if you buy a house from a distressed seller who just lost their house or was in the process of losing their house, you have the mindset that you will never do business with them again. That's inaccurate. They may never do business with you because they may never have a house. But guess what? You give them, you help them, they have people that refer. People love referring stuff to people. So there's a lot of stuff in this book. That was a few things. This book, he goes on and on about what to put in autoresponder sequences. So I've done some other things related to funnels, marketing funnels, where you do traffic, you collect their information, then you follow up with them over and over and over. And there's endless chapters. And I did the audio version of this, by the way. I bought this book. Actually, I bought 3 books, and one of them is sitting in my son's bedroom, who's only 8, who probably can't read this book yet, but eventually I want him on his own without pushing him, is to pick this up and start reading it, because I do believe it's super powerful. And there is a huge technical side of this as well that don't get scared of. He talks about opt-in forms, of what opt-in forms are the best, what colors to use, all of that stuff. Don't worry too much about that stuff, because he has a software called ClickFunnels that you can take a look at all. It's all plug and play. It's easy. Like, don't worry about the technical stuff. Someone can do that stuff for you. That's easy. That's easy to find. The important part is kind of understanding this and get in the mindset of this stuff. So again, if you want to buy the book, go to hardmoneybankers.com/.com. hardmoneybankers.com/DOTCOM. If you have any questions related to this, email me, jason@hardmoneybankers.com. I'm happy to help, jason@hardmoneybankers.com. Again, I've done a lot of stuff with Russell. Chris and I are going to his live event. He has another book called Expert Secrets that I'm going to chat with you at another time for another book review. But if you have any questions related to this stuff, I'm happy to help. I live and breathe this marketing stuff, so I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Until next time. Thanks, guys.